Thank you everybody for joining us. My name is Cameron Carlson.
And I am Noah Bearden, and we're excited to show off our senior design project. So, we're working for Nebraska EPSCoR, which is a statewide NSF, National Science Foundation funded program. And its goal is to strengthen STEM research capacity, workforce development, as well as public and private interrelationships. And it operates within the University of Nebraska system. Its main goal is to support research infrastructure and connecting existing research infrastructure in order to increase educational opportunities across primary, secondary, post-secondary, higher education, as well as even within the industry. The problem that exists right now is that Nebraska currently has a very wide, diverse network of resources and institutions. For example, UNL all around us, our neighbors in Omaha. However, it's challenging to connect and see exactly the whole totality of what UNL has and UNO and all of the other institutions within the state, such as community colleges, Chadron State, etc. So we can't really connect between the networks of research equipments that exist right now. And this is limiting collaboration as well as access to these resources across all sorts of different people in the state, especially rural and otherwise disadvantaged people throughout the state. So the problem is the research ecosystem as it exists right now is not collaborative enough, and the connections just aren't quite there yet.
Perfect. So now that we know about the project, kind of the mission, let's discuss who all was involved. So I'll start things off with, in the center here, you can see Dr. Matt Andrews. He was the director of the project, kind of responsible for the overall vision. So exactly what do we want to develop? Pictured on the left is Carol Allen. She was the communication specialist, so anyone on the EPSCoR team as well as the senior design team kind of communicated through her. So she was very essential to the development of this project. And on the right side, we can see Jody Sangster, who was the outreach coordinator, which her job was, well, with an app is only so powerful without users. So she was kind of in charge of outreach, making sure that we have the user base that we need for the future. All right, furthermore, on the UNL side of things, we have Jane Ohaya and Dr. Vinon Variam as the project manager and the tribe lead, respectively. These two were very essential to the project, providing us feedback not only on the product that we were developing, but additionally on the methodologies that we used. So some of the processes that we used in development, some of our ceremonies, etc. And then pictured on the right, we've got Jessica Rudolph, who was our career coach, our industry coach, and she was there as a resource in case we got ourselves stuck and needed some help from somebody in the industry. She was able to provide that key industry knowledge that kind of got us over some of these roadblocks. Now, of course, the senior design team. So we already introduced ourselves, but my name is Cameron Carlson. I served as the product manager as well as the group lead. Noah Bearden here, he was the development manager, so a lot of the technical things kind of went through him. And then additionally, not here for the presentation, we had Lindy Hraven, Maya Wilson, Jacob Rieker, and lastly, Kurt Kuhlman, all four serving as developers. This project would not have been completed on time had not everybody been on deck, so it was a great team.
Thank you, Cam. So as a refresher of the problem we introduced earlier, there already exists a diverse network of institutions as well as the resources therein, such as expert services and pieces of equipment, but there's not really a unified system to connect them all. And this lack of connectivity is limiting the collaboration and the access to these specialized equipment and services that rural and smaller institutions, they're lacking access to. So we recognize there's the opportunity to increase this collaboration across institutions. And the way we decided to capitalize on this opportunity is by creating the first ever unified digital hub for Nebraska's STEM research ecosystem. It'll increase collaboration between people who are close to the network, people who are far away from the network, in education and industry to promote equitable access for all of Nebraskans. In order to show how we solved this opportunity and capitalized on it, we'll show Cam to introduce our product solution.
Thank you again, Noah. So the product we developed, without diving too deep into the details, we essentially developed a modern web application. So anything a modern web app would have, we basically have it. So we have a landing page, search functionality, an FAQ, kind of all these things that you would see on a modern day web app. We wanted to allow users to explore a growing list of Nebraska's equipments, as well as some of the expert services that it has to offer. The tech stack that we use, without once again going into the nitty gritty, we use Angular, TypeScript as our front end. We had a .NET back end using C#, and then to back things up, we had a MySQL database. Awesome. And so the developing an app is one thing, but actually populating it with all of the data across Nebraska is another thing entirely. And this is where we utilize tools such as Scrapegraph AI and some Python scripts. So we went out and scraped all the websites for Nebraska's facilities. And from these facilities, we found equipments, services, all this as raw JSON data. And using this, as well as some Python scripts, we converted the raw data into data that we could use as SQL queries and insert them into our database. So it was kind of a game of pulling from the internet, translating it into something usable, and then displaying it on our site.
Thank you, Cam. Now that you understand the actual product that we built, it's time to demonstrate its value to the stakeholders. We hope that it will increase cooperation and collaboration between all members of the research community, researchers, students, and people in the industry. We also hope that it will increase access to resources for rural Nebraskans, and in general, people who don't know where to look for highly specialized equipment or experts. This statewide inventory that we created in the process of scraping for data is going to be very useful for the NSF's record. Having just a go-to inventory of all resources within the state, all pieces of major equipment within the state will provide a lot of value. And it can grow and continue to change over time. As far as the technical highlights from the development team, the things that we're most proud of, we're proud of the scraping sub-project. It took a lot of work and coordination to catalog 900 resources across 6 universities and set it up in such a way that it could continue to grow and be contributed to over time. We created a custom multi-token search engine. This means when you search for something using just simple keywords, it gets broken up into tokens, and tokens get weighted across different fields and criteria so that the results that are displayed are the ones that are most likely to be needed by someone without needing to match exactly what they typed in. Additionally, we went through strong security hardening as well as accessibility development to make sure this could be used by any Nebraskans regardless of their disability and safely without any sensitive data being exposed or compromised. So that was our senior design project. We're very, very proud of it. We hope it'll provide utility for Nebraskans all across the state in order to further both research and economic prospects across the state. Thank you so much for your time.